Too often in education, we focus on students' abilities to regurgitate information by systematically answering questions, where we in turn label them successful or not. As much as this may be true, it is not the entire picture of a student's abilities or how successful they are going to be. The ironic nature of this is these are not the skills most prized and sought after by major employers. According to a Forbes 2014 article, the top 5 skills that employers seek are ability to work in a team structure, ability to make decisions and problem solve, ability to communicate verbally with people, ability to plan, organize, and prioritize work, and the ability to obtain and process information. Often we think that most of these traits are natural, but just like other skills, they need to be continuously applied and refined throughout an individual's youth. If these skills are not fostered and students are not placed in situations where these skills are required, then students will lose or struggle to apply them in situations as they get older. Not every student will pursue a career in computer science, but all students will need to be able to solve problems using critical thinking skills to analyze their work, create a solution to a common problem, or address a specific need. Coding can be a great way to foster these skills sought after by employers, while also developing 21st century skills. As much as computer science is a highly sought after and growing career field, at a younger age, it is more about being an avenue to developing skills required to be successful at an older age. One of the nice things about coding is it can be adapted and molded for current topics, current subjects, or even specific standards within education. Students were asked, "What do you think about Scratch and Scratch Junior in Mr. Haslam's STEAM class?" Let's find out what they had to say.
I like Scratch Junior because it's you can make your own story and you can make up your own characters.
I really like Scratch Junior because it inspired me to do better work and be a awesome creator. I like Scratch Junior because I got to make stories and make backgrounds, and I even got to make new characters.
I think that Scratch is important for coding because it's super simple and it helps a lot of younger people understand.
I feel Scratch is a very good program to use because it can start people off on something that they would think that they don't like, but they find that they like it after. It kind of eases you into the whole coding thing.
I like Scratch because it helps with creativity. It helps with problem solving because if you find a problem in your program, it helps you to have to look at it again. It also helps to prepare you for real coding if you want.
Here are some tools that are currently being applied in Mr. Haslam's STEAM class to help develop coding and problem-solving skills. Ozbots, computer programming robots. Bloxels, that help develop video games using an app on the iPad. Scratch, using an online program available to anybody. And Scratch Junior, which is an app on the iPads. Ozbots are a tool that use digital or non-digital surfaces when programming stuff. We have applied them in many different ways. One of the ways is Ozo spider webs. In this activity, students create a symmetrical spider web with embedded codes and then measure the angles that are in the spider web design. We also measure a linear distance of the entire spider web, adding together the sections to find out its total length. Another activity I do with my third graders is Mad Lib Ozobot Stories, where they use a Mad Lib to develop a story and then recreate the scene using three-dimensional objects and paper, and then the Ozbot becomes the character in the story. Another tool we use is Bloxels. Each color block represents a different function in the game, and students create a game, characters, animations, and enter them into a game in order to create an interactive world that they can play. Coding is an extremely dynamic tool that can be used within the classroom. Coding gives them experiences, and it can help them develop these skills. It is not the only way that they can develop these skills, but it is one. Activities such as these not only foster creativity but also give students the ability to engage in problem-solving activities. These activities have been shown to create excitement in the young learners' minds, helping them build self-confidence and self-efficacy, creating a positive attitude regarding their abilities to be successful and their abilities in advanced concepts. If students are going to be prepared for careers in STEM, then they should be introduced to STEM topics and computer science topics prior to middle school. There are many studies out there regarding this, but one study states that if a student in 8th grade expresses interest in STEAM or STEM, they are 3 times more likely to enroll in a STEM degree program than students who do not have the previous interest. These interests are not stumbled upon by the students, but facilitated by the teachers of the classroom. Coding can be one of these ways that it can be facilitated. I have seen students go from not interested at all, and 6 weeks later, not wanting to leave my classroom because of what they have learned and what they have seen and what they have been able to do.